next guest wrote a very unique script for his own life, starting out as a mime and then pivoting to inspirational speaker. How in the heck does that happen? He is Curtis Zimmerman. We appreciate you being here with us, Curtis. And I know that you've got a new book coming out. We're going to address that in just a moment because that's why you're in town. But first of all, we want to start with how you went from the silent act of being a mime to an inspirational speaker. Because I got to tell you, I sold this to my producer who's behind the scenes, and she said, wait, this guy's a mime and he's going to talk to us about how to become a better person. I don't get it. So lay it out for us.
Absolutely. So I was a performer for 25 years, a mime and a juggler and a fire eater and a magician. I worked at places like Universal Studios in Hollywood and cruise ships. And while I worked on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, I met my wife, and she was from Ohio, and I was born and raised in Los Angeles. And when I moved to Ohio to be with her about 23 years ago, cows don't really care if you can juggle.
No, they don't.
And so I started working with teachers, helping them to incorporate the arts into the curriculum. And then what happened was those workshops went so well, they started telling their husbands and wives at their corporations, wow, this is real information we can really use. You should have them come and speak to our folks. So I did that, and then I did about 1,500 college appearances, and I wrote some books, and that transferred from mime to speaker, and that's what I do now.
Do you still wear the mime makeup sometimes?
I've spent 10 years.
You've packed it away.
Yeah, that is all gone.
So you talk to the military. What is your main message to folks in the armed services?
Well, the main group that I've spoken with in the military is the Air Force. And the Air Force right now, like so many of the people that are giving so much time to us so that we're able to be here today, they're giving their lives and their families, but they're writing scripts and they're changing their lives. And my book and my message is all about your life as a script. And as a performer, there were certain aspects I had to do in order to write my life show. I'm going to take those same principles I used in my performances and transfer that into my life. So the first thing I'm going to do is write a script. What do you really want your life to be about? The next thing you have to do is say, well, who am I going to cast as the star? Well, you're the star of your own life. You're the only person that will be in every single scene of your life. So you're the star. Also, I want you to be the star so you can give it away to other people. Now, after that, what you have to do is cast your show wisely. Who are you going to surround yourself with to make your show better? And right now with the military, what they're doing is they're going on for 6 weeks, 6 months, a year. And when they come back home, they've rewritten lots of scripts in their life. But they're not the only one. Their husband and wife also have rewritten a lot of scripts. So what I work with them on is how do we bring those scripts together so now we can write the next chapter of our life together again, rather than divorce and alcohol and all the other things we're going to use to rewrite those scripts.
It's such a profound message, and the fact that you are in control of your life and also just sitting down and planning ahead. And I think when you write it out, as Mary Jo, our psychotherapist, has said many times, that helps you gain control and also get a place to go, right? Because a lot of times we just see jumble. We don't know what's going on. But when we put it to paper, we can organize a little bit better there.
It's critical. And when it comes down to the difference between a goal and a dream, a dream, everybody has dreams. A goal has a deadline. And so if I want things to actually actualize and appear in my life, I have to first off say, when do I want that to happen? And what are the things I'm going to do now to make that actually appear? And those are all the things that are covered in my book to have. That sounds great, but I'm just a person sitting home watching this right now. How can I actually do that? That's what drives me crazy with so many people. It's like, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm not, I'm an inspirational speaker. I hope to inspire you to motivate yourself. And if it's not actionable and you can't read a book or see a program and actually change something the next day, you wasted your time. And that's the kind of book I did not want to write. And that's why I'm so proud of this, because people can read it and then actually change the things they need to.
Well, and certainly you weren't given your path in life either. I mean, you went from, doing one thing to something completely opposite. I mean, certainly they are connected, but you made yourself. And I think that anybody at home can do the same thing.
Absolutely. I talk a lot about we all have a resume. I gave you my resume: mime, juggler, Universal Studios, Marineland, cruise ships. But we all have something called a resume. And that's so much more important. Who are you really? What are you really about? What do you really care about? And what's your past? And when you talk about your past, my mother was married 6 times. I grew up on welfare and food stamps as a kid. Those are called old scripts. And now, as a person, now that I'm an adult and I'm somebody that can say, what are the new scripts that I'm going to write? Where am I going to go from here? If you continue to reread old scripts, you're never going to change and grow and become the person you ultimately want to be.
How important is it to connect with people that can help you to get to where you want to go, though? Because if you are sitting at home and you're unemployed, you need cash, you need to find a job, I mean, certainly you need to connect with people, and I think that probably goes along with what you were talking about earlier, casting those people in your life that are going to help you get to where you want to go.
Yes, mentorship, having somebody who's going to help you do that. But also I would say if you are unemployed right now, what you have to think of is that you're a product and you're selling your product. I deal a lot with Fortune 500 companies, and when their product isn't selling, guess what they do? They remarket it, they give themselves a makeover, they change the color, or they change the ingredients. So they go back and they get more education. They go back, and what I want you to do is think about what are the ingredients in me that's not selling myself, just like any other product. And that's what people, a lot of times they think, no, the market's going to have to just appreciate me for who I am. Well, that's great if you want to stay home. But you need to work on your product. You need to work on how do you look? Are you professional looking? What are the things I can do, just like any other product, to make it more marketable?
Curtis, you're wonderful. I'm so glad you came in today. You're inspiring me already.